More spin-offs. That's what you'll hear if you sneak into an HBO exec's office. This time around, for the first time, a sequel for Game of Thrones is reportedly in development. This is all coming from a Hollywood Reporter article by James Hibbert. A big claim to make, and I don't think he's bullshitting us. This guy is a big HBO insider journalist. Wrote a whole book that I probably will never read about behind the scenes stuff. The sequel will center around the newly exiled Jon Snow, now living beyond the wall after killing... Unless HBO is able to find the greatest team of writers to give this a shot, I don't see this thing winning fans over after the final Game of Thrones season train wreck. Curiosity will have everyone tuning in to a Jon Snow sequel's premiere episode, but after that it's gonna be rough getting high enough viewership to fill Kit Harington's pockets. There won't be any giants, children of the forest, or dragons, so that'll save them on the budget, but less fantasy elements are lame as hell for a fantasy series. So again, the writers are gonna have a hard road ahead of them. If this is just a chill sitcom with Jon and the Wildlings, this thing will get cancelled before we get a second season. Think King of the Hill, with less jokes and more snow. James Hibbert only is claiming that the sequel is in the works. Even thinking about multiple seasons is not realistic. There's not even a pilot episode ordered yet that we know of. I do think it would be fun to imagine what a show like this would look like, and what would help it succeed because the fandom's initial reaction is not very positive. Housing the Wildlings beyond the wall would be boring to have to sit through. I mean, anyone out there, say something if you disagree with that. So the writers will have to make Jon Snow and the Wildlings more interesting. The books already solved the first part years ago by characterizing Jon Snow as a warg, just like his little brother Bran. All the Stark kids had the magical connection with their direwolves, but with Arya parting ways with Nymeria, Jon and Ghost are the only duo left in the Game of Thrones world. Better late than never to make use of this plotline that previously was scrapped. James Hibbert only mentions Kit Harington being set to return in his article. No mention of Sansa or Bran. Fans aren't dying to see more of them on screen anyways. The best way to make use of everyone's favorite king, Bran the Broken, is to have him communicate to Jon magically. He can enter his dreams, or if that's not enough, Jon can have a crow by his side at all times. Kinda like his old Lord Commander Jorah Mormont had in the books. A weird little thing that would spew out random words every now and again. Seeing Bran in the mind of a crow just staring at people the way Drogon did to Jon would be hilarious. A funny way to show how sentient he is. Bran was beyond useless in the final season. The most powerful character, just bait for the Night King during the climactic moments. There's little that can be done to reverse the bad taste in our mouths after that ending, but making Bran more competent wouldn't hurt. He has the abilities to become the greatest spy master, with him being able to see anywhere he wishes and can enter the bodies of animals if he prefers something physical to move around in. He's not limited to just birds. There are polar bears roaming around beyond the wall that Bran could make good use of if Jon ever needs some backup. Maybe Bran could give him some missions to handle, cause Jon's gonna need something to do, right? He had a short-lived career as a ranger for the Night's Watch, and nowadays there isn't much to do with the world's biggest threat taken care of. The Night's Watch are kinda out of work. New creatures are gonna have to be introduced. I made a whole video dedicated to the unique creatures beyond the wall. A lot of things have gone extinct thanks to the bloody final season, but grumps and snarks have yet to be explored. We don't really know what they are aside from being fantastical creatures. There are great elks, ice spiders, and the snow bears that we call polar bears. But the fun lore surrounds the ice dragons, sea dragons, and mermaids rumored to live beyond the wall. All three could have a place here. Tormund made for the perfect sidekick in Game of Thrones, and he'll have a bigger role to play in this sequel. Both Game of Thrones and the upcoming prequel House of the Dragon are going to have similar tones. A Jon Snow sequel kind of has to have its own identity before things start getting stale, because there are now 8 spin-offs in the works over at HBO. 3 of them animated, so those for sure will shake things up if they ever make it to air. Besides the animations, there's of course House of the Dragon, and 3 other prequels. One about Dunk and Egg, then the Nymeria prequel, which I think will be dope, and one about the Sea Snake, which can rot in an HBO trash bin. Jon Snow is free now, and that can be shown with a more laid-back style of storytelling. Not King of the Hill laid back, but also not the world is ending dire. Drogon is still flying around out there, but I don't see how he'll fit in here. Jon did kill his mother after all, and Drogon's cited for letting Jon live instead of revenge. There's ice dragons to focus on now. Drogon's in the past. So yeah, I can see a lighthearted show with some serious threats here and there working, but I'm not as optimistic about this spin-off as I am with House of the Dragon. It may never air, and that may be for the best, unless there's a really gripping story to tell and not milking the IP on HBO's end. A short video for a show that'll probably be short-lived. I'll see you guys soon with something more in-depth to talk about. I'm done here.